Hey, true believers. Chris Mack coming at you with Batman Superman #2. And I do feel, and this is just my personal opinion, let me know what you guys think. I believe that this should have been the #1. Because if you go back and look at the review that we did for issue 1, there was just a whole lot of like exposition dumping and then kind of some excitement at the end, and then it stopped. I kind of get that they want to lead into it, but I don't know. I just remember when I first picked up issue 1 a while back, it just bored me to tears. And then they introduced Shazam, and I was just kind of like, oh, big whoop. But this one really sucks you in. So let's go ahead and dive in. And it starts, we kind of get these, in a sense, I always call them Claremont-esque things where they'll say, meanwhile, and something else is happening. So we kind of get these moments with Commissioner Gordon. And he's talking about the Gotham City Police Department armory, where all of the weapons from the Arkham inmates are kept. And Gordon's saying nobody has access to it because it's state-of-the-art Wayne tech. He goes, not even I have access to it. It's impossible to get past, except with your help. And we hear the door open. So what's happening there? We will eventually go over that down the line. And then you change the page and boom! That is one freaking gorgeous splash page of the Shazam Who Laughs. They called it last issue versus our dynamic duo, the world's finest. And I like how Shazam starts calling himself Earth's mightiest nightmare. I think that's just a really cool tagline, and that's what initially finally sucked me into want to buy the King Shazam action figure, which we will go over eventually. Now, the creative team on this book is Joshua Williams, the writer, David Marquez, artist, Alejandro Sanchez doing the colors, Jonah J. Hill, letterer, Marquez and Sanchez doing the cover. Here's everyone else working on variants, blah, 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 blah. Batman was created by Bill Finger with Bob Kane, and Superman was created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. And I cannot get over this splash page. It's just so good. Now, the tagline on this is, who are the Secret Six? So, again, it's leading into another event. Like, all this is leading up to Death Metal, which is kind of like, eh. But alone, just watching these two fight one of the most mightiest magical beings around, it really adds the intensity. Now, one thing I will say, if I remember from the old days, Shazam, even though he's always Billy Batson's a kid, I don't remember him always talking so millennial. You come at me with toys, son? You just some dude in a Halloween costume, Batman. So some of the dialogue that they do give Shazam, I'm not big on because it's very much tweeny, like new age, and I don't like it. But what I do like is it shows, again, Superman's getting ready to take down him. He gets the heat vision going on, and he goes, whoa, heat vision. And he screams, Shazam! And we get this moment where Superman stops. He pauses because he goes, holy moly, Superman, I didn't mean it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm having horrifying, violent thoughts, screams in my mind. Please don't hurt me. And so we go from seeing the Kryptonian alien that people fear to the human that is Clark Kent. And he's saying, you can fight this. Whatever that Batman from the Dark Multiverse did, we can cure you. And then here he goes, fooled you, Shazam, bitch. And I never see Billy Batson do that. But again, I guess they had to kind of change the dialogue because he's evil now. And I don't know, it kind of bugs a little bit. But again, and another thing I will say here is the artwork. I do appreciate it. First, it took me a minute, but I liked how it looks. And I'm not saying digitally colored, but it looks more like painting, especially the backgrounds. Just that absence of all the blue and whatnot, and just seeing the red cape and the lightning bolt, it really speaks volumes. And then I don't know, I like the design of Shazam too. He has that hood going on, his cape's rippled. It just really gives him that other worldliness. Now, keep in mind what's in his hand. If you remember from the first issue when they opened the suitcase in the Batman Who Laughs lair, there's 6 batarangs and they're all missing. So they don't know who the intended targets are. So keep this in mind. And then we get another relatively gorgeous splash page, and the bat plane just coming at him. That is just really gorgeous work there. All the action lines, it draws you in. And Shazam's like, you really think there's any weapon on Earth that could stop me, Batman? And of course, Bruce, being who he is, I love how he says, the jet was just the delivery method, punk. I'm always the weapon. Now also keep in mind, look at this batarang. Just notice the logo on it. I just want you to keep that in mind. And again, even when Billy turns back into Billy Batson, just look at how creepy his face is. Now Bruce is falling out of the jet now, and I like how Billy says, game time decision, Soups. Keep fighting or save the bat's life. Who am I kidding? You don't even have the nerve to... So while Batman's falling, I love that Bruce kind of says, okay, enough of this crap, and gives Shazam a good clock. But because who he is, Batman, of course, is saved. And I like how Bruce here, even though he's being healed by the Kryptonian technology, he says, Superman's basically saying, I held back. I couldn't hurt Billy because he's a kid. And no matter what the Dark Multiverse has done to him, I know we can save him. And Bruce, being the tactician, says, desperate times call for desperate measures, Clark. We need to get back out there. We don't have time to lick our wounds. Shazam was our only lead. Who knows what he could be doing now? And he got away because... And then Clark, there's times where, you just see him that he's had enough of Bruce's crap. He goes, he beat us, both of us, so save the lecture. And then there's just that pause. Then I like how Clark can always be the one that sort of keeps the more level head, and he goes, but I did retrieve a clue. And that's why I said keep an eye on the batarangs. Because something happens with these particular batarangs. I don't want to give it away, but it does include where the Batman Who Laugh is being held, and essentially what leads to the Batman Who Laughs saying the world's finest back together again. So yeah, guys, this book, really entertaining read. Like I said, I remember when issue 1 first dropped, I read it, was not real thrilled with it at the time. So I just kind of said, screw it. And then, I kind of came back and kind of started seeing nods to this issue, and I went, crap, this must have been something interesting. So I came back, read it, love it, and I must say, I can't believe how hard this particular issue is getting to find. It's so damn frustrating. But with that said, if you guys have enjoyed what you've seen and want to read more, please, first and foremost, support your local comic shop and see if you can get a copy. If not, you may have to go the secondary route, which is what I had to do. So it's just like, good luck to you. Got my fingers crossed for you. If you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate it if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you can possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little bat bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel. We love talking with you all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below, or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.